Good morning to everybody. Today is Tuesday, the 27th of November, guys. We made it. We made it past Cyber Monday. Hopefully you guys didn't blow out your bank accounts. Hopefully everything's working out fantastic for you guys. Looks like not as bright in here as I'd like it. Might have to adjust my green screen a little bit. Oh my dear Lord. So, just checking in. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Today's a pretty interesting day. Give me a sec here, guys. Just bump this up just a little bit. There we go. Boom. Fixed. Look at that. The wonders of video editing live on stream. All right. How are we doing this morning? Light Yagami. How are we doing? As always, good to see you in the chat. Gabe Anderson, good morning to you. Third Eye Trader, good morning from Alaska. Good morning from the Midwest. Johnny Boy Crypto in the house. We got Mastash Scott bringing it down for Team Cracking Crypto as always. Gabe Anderson, Clipston Plexterfield, still loving that name, man. Coin Hustle, dude always has dope beats. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Ryan Little with West Coast. All right, guys. Well, let's see. We got a lot on the docket today, a lot to talk about. I want to go over the Commitment of Traders report that came out from the CME recently. We'll also go over CBOE data. We're going to go over some news nuggets. And of course, we're going to do our patented chicken Alfredo, al pesto technical analysis for you guys. Getting that popped. So yesterday was a pretty good day for the group, for the trading group. Let's see here. We had... let's see. We hit... Well, now I'm going to have to pull it open in a different browser. See what I get for closing my browser so everything can run faster. Let's see, yesterday, XBT long that closed out successfully at the beginning of the show, 3502 to 3732 at 3x leverage. XRP Z18 short from 94.95 to 94.05. So that was about, let's say here, about 22% profits yesterday, locked in, currently in some nice positions, guys. So congratulations to the team members. Hope you guys are joining me today on the show. Mixed Master, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Again, all the magic happens behind the scenes, guys. All right, guys. Let's just get started, guys. First thing I want to go over is the Commitment of Traders report. So if we go over here, to I guess let's look at. I want to see if it's refreshed on BitGer yet this morning. No, it is not. BitGer's still lagging behind, man. What's up with BitGer? I figured this would be updated, but that's all right. We'll just go over to Quandle. So Quandle data did update for us. This is actually where Bennett's fantastic indicator is webhooked into. So what do we see here? Since the last report that we received on the 13th, the last report dated back to the 13th. This newest report that came out yesterday dated back to the 20th. And what do we see? We see a rise in open interest. So let me pull up my notes so I can stay on track. It's actually a fairly interesting report. I kind of talked to everybody and they didn't really see the value in it, but I have some nuanced opinions of exactly what happened in that Commitment of Traders report. So let's talk about it. So we see here, let's just go over the basics here. And I can actually pull up the boring data. This is the raw data if you guys want to see the raw, boring data. So what do we see here? We see CBOE Futures Exchange. Okay, open interest, 3,476 contracts. One contract on CBOE is 1 Bitcoin, so that's 3,476 Bitcoins worth of cash settled contracts. Let's see here. If we look at leveraged funds, total long positions, 483 contracts, 712 12 short positions. Okay, so let's take that into account with the date. So this information came out last Tuesday. So if we go over here and look at the chart, let's go to the daily chart. So just so you guys get a frame of reference for what we're talking about. So this is this day right here. So on this day right here, when we had thought that maybe we reached a little bit of a bottom, price moved sideways here for a while before breaking down into this lower. Now it seems to be somewhat of an accumulation zone, depending on looking at today's daily candle. Doesn't look too horrible. So we were interested. We knew that up here, we knew that institutions had largely gone short. So they rode the short position out. But what did they do when we got to here? When it looked like, is the bottom in? Are we going to get a bounce back up? Well, let's go see what they did. What they actually did was, we see that CBOE, in my opinion, mostly got it right. They deleveraged their long positions. They're still hedging. Now, leveraged funds, these are going to be your institutions, your hedge funds. And so they did overwhelmingly deleverage their longs and increase their short positions. If we look at other reportables, so these are going to be your professional traders or asset managers. They flipped, so they deleveraged their long positions and went overwhelmingly short, about a 2-to-1 ratio. And non-reportable positions, this is going to be your retail traders or your dumb money. We can see that they absolutely got it wrong with 1,653 long positions, 454 short positions. So they were absolutely buying the fucking dip, and they got their faces smashed in. So that's fairly interesting. So CBOE, in my opinion, got it right. We see that we see the correct direction from both the institutions, from the professional traders, and of course we see retail getting their face smashed in as they commonly do. However, one thing that I just want to point out, you might ask yourself, why are there 483 long positions? Because you have to understand that the goal of these larger professional traders is they're managing large amounts of capital compared to retail traders. Their primary interest, leverage funds more so than professional traders, but is to hedge risk. So often they'll have split positions. They'll be spreading. So they'll be taking long and simultaneous short positions. And this is a strategy I've recommended many times before. If you have a larger amount of capital and you're looking to just hedge against the volatility of the market, it's very easy to take your capital, go over to BitMEX and go long and short on 2 different BitMEX accounts. It's quite simple to do. And then all you simply need to do is deleverage whatever position that is going against your favor. So say you have 1x short open and you're taking long swing trades. Well, you can do that. That's absolutely fine. But say you have a 1x long and a 1x short open simultaneously on BitMEX. All you do is simply reduce your long position and add that capital to your short position. So you're getting a better even cost for your short position. You're adding margin to your short position, and you're getting you're reducing your loss on your long position. And your USD value will remain fairly stable doing this fairly simple hedging process. So we have to keep that in mind, that this is what leveraged funds, large institutions are mainly looking to do: hedge against the volatility of Bitcoin. But they're also profiting quite well because they took it to the right direction. Ooh, we got a sub. Pavokia, thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. All right, so if we look at CME, CME is slightly more interesting because we look open interest 3,729, okay? Now, that's 3,729 contracts. So that's 3,729 times 5 Bitcoin, because every contract on CME is worth 5 Bitcoins. So let me see here. Do the quick math in my head. That's an increase of about, actually, I want to look at the increase. So if we go look at the increase in open interest went from 3,530 contracts on the 13th of November to 3,729. Okay, so that's an increase of about 6%, a rise in 199 contracts. That's 990-ish Bitcoins, and that's about $4.5 to $5 million USD, give or take, at that price level. At that point in time. So that's a 6% rise and increase, and that's, we got Inoem Jim. Thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. Really appreciate the support. So that's fairly interesting to see, the rise in open interest while everybody is screaming their heads off that Bitcoin's going to zero. Yet we see on institutional platforms rising open interest, all right? That's good to see. If you saw positions exiting and saying, we don't want anything to do with this platform, no, we're done. No, you actually see them investing more capital into Bitcoin. And still holding long positions, guys. Still holding on to long positions, all right? It's not like there's absolutely no long positions. So if we look at CME, though, we see that, in my opinion, we see that leveraged funds, so this is hedge funds, institutions, they went more long than they went short at that price level. So either they got it wrong or they were hedging risk. Again, their primary interest is to hedge risk. So that's their primary goal here. They did not profit as much from this movement as they could have. Wow, we got the subs pouring in. Mr. Sexy Forever, thanks for the stuff on YouTube, man. Like that name. Forever, baby. It's very interesting to see that actually long positions increased on CME. So you may say, well, they're getting it wrong, or are they just comfortable with the drawdown and the leverage is low that they are betting forward? Now, the report that we get this Friday will be extremely interesting, and I am expecting probabilistically to see that we're going to see an increase in buying. We're going to see an increase in institutional buying. Looking at professional traders, asset managers, we see that they, of course, overwhelmingly got it right. They were less interested in hedging risk, although we do see that they're hedging against risk here with 315 long contracts, but they flipped 672 short contracts. So that's they clearly profited from this movement quite well. And then, of course, we see non-reportable positions. So this is retail traders. We, of course, see them get their face smashed off as normal. So as always, guys, we're always looking to bet against retail traders and move in the direction of institutions. So this would have been a nice report. Generally, we only get a 3-day lag. This would have helped us because had we got this report on the day we should have, we would have actually gotten it. We would have got it right here, and we would have been able to use the overwhelming data from the CBOE and the asset managers on CME to know that they're betting against the market. We should probably take a short position. So actually, our trading group, we didn't actually flip short until support was broken. If we go to the 30-minute chart, we can actually see exactly where we went short. So we see support get broken right here. And it wasn't until we entered when support got broken, we entered about 4,000. All right. So yeah, about 4,000. We took the short position down. And yeah, because we were moving into this low period. What we can see now is distribution, but this consolidation period, volatility gets extremely low. Very low right here. Volatility gets extremely low. And when that happens, we're looking for a violent movement. We were all expecting a little bit of a bounce, but had we not had the knowledge from the institutional traders, we would have known to take it to the short side earlier, would have given us a bit of a better margin. So we would have been able to actually get in to the short position right around here rather than down here reacting to the market. However, guys, the best traders that I know are reactive rather than predictive. That's why I kind of have, I don't disrespect anybody for how they choose to trade. There's no right way of trading, and if there was a way to trade, then there wouldn't be multiple channels, there wouldn't be books, there wouldn't be a market, as Hayden said very so poignantly last night when we were having a conversation. Yeah, the reason that the market exists in different ways to trade, and that's what makes it fun, that's what makes it profitable. And, for you younger guys, with younger guys and gals, people who are really into video games, I mean, this is the best video game you could play. This is Chaz Cerrone. Thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. Really appreciate it. All right, so I know this is probably boring details, guys, but it's really important that we have a fundamental understanding of where the interest is, and that allows us to trade based off of that. So, So leveraged funds on CME went higher to the long side at that point in time on the 20th. They did this mainly by deleveraging their shorts. It seems that they did not want to be exposed to as much risk, and my bet is that they are cross-leveraged, i.e. playing both long and short positions to hedge risk, because that's their main concern. Professional traders did get it right, going overwhelmingly to the short side. Asset managers and professional traders more concerned with pulling a profit for their investors. Again, we were looking at those reports earlier that were talking about how all these hedge funds were closing their doors, and you have to remember that for hedge funds and professional traders, that they don't get paid unless they turn a profit for their investors or for the people to contribute to their pool. So they were highly looking to pull a profit. Of course, we see retail get it absolutely wrong. CBOE overwhelmingly got it more correct, as we see them about 60-40 to the short side from both leveraged funds and professional traders. Of course, retail getting it wrong as well. Although CBOE reflects far less volume, it is interesting to see that the overwhelming sentiment was to the short side. Those are the notes that I took last night. Okay, cool. So, interesting data. Open interest rising. That's the most that's the most pressing thing to me. What's very important is that we see open interest rising, meaning that institutions are more interested in putting more capital into Bitcoin at this point in time. We have more open interest than we've ever had on the institutional platforms at this point in time. So a bullish sign. And we also see them not completely, the institutional funds, not deleverage their longs. On CME, they deleverage their shorts, for God's sakes. They're still betting on Bitcoin to the upside. This is crazy. It's not crazy. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's not crazy. It's what's crazy is all the FUD. It doesn't matter, again, and I've said this before, this might be lazy. I don't care. We were talking about these price levels at 17,000, 12,000, 10,000, 9,000, if you guys have been following the channel for the last year that we've been doing this. So the hard work's over, guys. The bottom's nearly here, a 1 to 3K, whether we move sideways for a very long time or whether we continue in the bearish downtrend for a while, for another 6 to 12 months, it doesn't matter, guys. We've reached the point where the risk to reward ratio is in your favor. And you can see that reflected from the open interest in institutions, from the open interest, but money talks, not just in the open interest from leveraged institutions and futures contract positions, but backed, fidelity. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. So let's head over to Twitter here real quick, guys. So tweet from Bitfinex. I want to give a shout out to who posted this in my Discord. Shout out to Zuki. Thanks for linking this in the Discord, man. I appreciate that. So this is a tweet from Bitfinex. It reads, from today onwards, Bitfinex customers will be able to trade Tether fiat directly on our platform through the addition of USDT/USD and EURT/EUR. I like that. Tether trading pairs. To find out more, click here. So we clicked there, and it brought us here to this Medium article. So Bitfinex announces Tether neutrality and launches new stablecoin pairs. So I'm not going to read this whole article, but the long and the short of it is that they are adding USDT to USD pairs, so you can trade directly between USDT, USD, and Euro Tether to Euro. All right, so this is actually a positive sign. There's been a lot of FUD about Bitfinex, and I've got friends that are on both sides of the aisle. I have people that are just terrified of Bitfinex and think that they're scammers and they're exit scammers, and then those people are relatively new to Bitcoin, though. And then I know older heads that have been in Bitcoin for a long time, and they have nothing but absolute faith in Bitcoin. Now, again, trust not verify, so faith is for the birds. I go where the volatility and the money is. But this is a fairly positive sign. Bitfinex doing well. Like, I will give credit to Bitfinex where credit is due. They've done their best to try to remain transparent throughout all the negative publicity that they have received. So, continue our heritage of providing a neutral coin agnostic platform. Yeah, okay. From today, Bitfinex users will be able to trade Tether fiat directly on our platform. This replaces the previous one-to-one conversion on deposits and withdrawals. Blah, 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 blah. Historically, by providing the guarantee of the Tether peg, the one-to-one ratio to the dollar, Bitfinex has protected its customers, ensuring that they can redeem at any time. And keep that in mind, guys. Yeah, there's never been a situation, there have been brief periods of loss of faith, but there's never actually been a situation where this shit's blown up. So, having increased visibility of Tether through some shared executive team members gave Bitfinex the confidence to commit to this approach. Blah, 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 blah. This effectively means that Bitfinex users can deposit, trade, and withdraw USD and Euro in both fiat and Tether denominations. Okay, so increasing transparency a little bit from Bitfinex over here, a little bit of ease of access and accessing your USDT to USD. Okay, I can dig it, man. I can dig it. I can dig it. All right, so there's that. Now let's go over and look at some news. So, NASDAQ's Bitcoin futures could launch in Q1 2019, says Bloomberg. All right, so I'm going to look at the review real quick from Mr. William Suberg on Cointelegraph. Sometimes the cesspool of the coin news, but not too bad. Major U.S. stock exchange NASDAQ still intends to launch Bitcoin futures and could do so as soon as Q1 2019. Now, NASDAQ was talking about launching futures back in May, so let's just keep this with a grain of salt, guys. But Bakkt is launching January 2019, so Q1 2019, so it makes sense for them to kind of lockstep along with them. Now, I like this anonymous sources because you can use anybody as an anonymous source. So, but the move comes despite the downturn in BTC prices to 13-month lows, marking the tail end of a testing year for existing Bitcoin futures products. Yeah, mid-2018. Making the announcement shortly after CBOE and CME Group set the launch date for the industry's first such features at the end of November 2017. The plans did not go ahead. NASDAQ's offering will now likely come to market when multiple major competitors in traditional finance, including the ICE's Bakkt, which should launch physical Bitcoin futures January 24th, guys. So let's go over and look at the actual Bloomberg article and see what they actually say. So according to Bloomberg, NASDAQ is moving ahead with a plan to list Bitcoin futures. They've been working to satisfy the concerns of the CFTC. That's really all they need to worry about right there. All right. Back in January, NASDAQ CEO Adena Friedman said the exchange was weighing how to distinguish its plans from contracts already offered by competitors. The NASDAQ futures will be based off the Bitcoin's price on numerous spot exchanges as compiled by the VanEck Associates Corporation. That's interesting. VanEck is the most promising ETF to get potentially listed in the United States. Yeah, so that's more bullish news. More bullish news from institutions continues to pour in. US SEC Chairman Jay Clayton, shout out to my man, keeps quiet on ICO and exchange-traded fund regulation updates. So you guys can head over to CNBC and see his interview when he gets asked about Bitcoin. But coming off the tails of the Paragon and Air Fox SEC regulations, What he did say is he was pretty tight-lipped about shit, but what he did say is we've had no ICOs registered with the SEC. He said, to the extent that an ICO is being conducted offshore or pursuant to a private placement exemption, fine. To the extent that you've conducted a public offering in an ICO, it's non-compliant, guys. So what that says to me is that it doesn't matter where you are. You can run, you can hide, you can try to do your ICO in China. Fucking SEC is going to come after you if you touch an American investor. Yeah, buddy. And I think that's good. I think that's great. Over the next 2 years, we're going to see all this bullshit get cleared out. And we're going to see the coins with actual use cases and actual investment, legitimate investment vehicles get registered with the SEC, and then we can move forward. This will be a far less, it'll still be an extremely speculative market, but it'll be less absolute Wild West like it is now. Let's check in with our hash wars guys. We haven't checked in with these guys in a while. Sorry. All right, so we still see ABC just running it, killing it with nodes, 974. That's growing. Bitcoin Unlimited, who really cares about them? Bitcoin Cash SV, still about the same. Let's go over and check in with Cash.CoinDance. Damn, 80-ounce tumbler. Yes, sir. Nothing but water. All right, so checking in with CoinDance here real quick. Okay, nothing. You know what? That's always good. You know, I always look for my Brave browser to show me like everything that I got to be worried about. Ads trackers, nothing on CoinDance. That's good. If you go into CNBC, 22 trackers I had to block. Crazy. Ooh, okay. All right, so total Bitcoin Cash proof of work by network. We continue to see that the Bitcoin Cash proof of work has continued to rise here. That's good. Bitcoin Cash taking the dominance on hash power right here. Much more proof of work than has been posited in by Bitcoin Cash SV. Bitcoin Cash hash rates by network. We continue to see those decline though. Bitcoin Cash mining profitability versus BTC. It is currently 10% more profitable to mine on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain than it is to mine BTC, according to this website. However, it is currently 31% more profitable to mine Bitcoin Cash SV than Bitcoin. So, interesting things to keep in mind, guys. For those betting against Bitcoin Cash, I don't know. BTC all the way, baby. But we're going to see what these little baby retail miners do. Are they going to throw out? Are they going to switch to Bitcoin Cash? We'll see. Latest Bitcoin Cash blocks by mining pool, BTC.com, and Antpool in the lead via BTC. That's fine. What's interesting is that Bitcoin Cash SV had said that they had via BTC. Of course, they would have never had Antpool. That's Jihan Wu. SV Pool, bringing it up. CoinGeek as well, and Mempool. So that's all in chain right there. So that's not super surprising. And yeah, we just see a lot, many more blocks being mined for Bitcoin ABC, but Bitcoin Unlimited being mined as well. So interesting stuff, guys. Interesting stuff. Bitcoin Cash ABC clearly winning the hash war. Let's go check in with the price, and then we'll look at the CME. So let's look at BCH SV. All right, so this is the hourly chart. So we had that nice little decline, and it's been on a little bit of a tear, guys. And this actually is not looking too quite terribly horrible, guys. Bitcoin Cash SV clearly in an uptrend. We reached a double top right here, and then a decline. Looking at volume right here, we can see, let's see, rising volume, declining volume as we reach the top, but rising volume in the down move right here. That gives us a little bit of something to be worried about. We'll just see, guys. You know, this stuff is very, very, very crazy right now. All right. So, looking at the total swing high to swing low, doesn't look super interesting right there. Let's see if we can get any good correlation here. Right about this area, 618 and the 382, that's good correlation. Top of the Kumo cloud on the hourly chart. Let's switch out to the daily and get kind of a better picture of this, guys. That's what I want to do. And, you know, this is such a fresh asset, man. This is speculation. You can't do any TA on this goddamn shit. Who the fuck knows? But we'll just see how this plays out, guys. We'll see how SV plays out. I have been keeping my eyes on Bitcoin Cash ABC, as we can see here. Kind of looking for a trade here, guys. Looking for the setup. Now we can see that price on Bitcoin. So it seems to me it would be highly unlikely, man. It would not look good to me, or excuse me, it would not make as much sense to me if it was actually retail traders boosting the price of Bitcoin Cash SV up. It seems more likely that that's something that N-Chain is likely to do, that Bitcoin SV and everybody are more interested in pushing the price up on exchanges. Why? Because Craig Wright's an egomaniac, and he just wants to see that higher price. Whereas I don't think that Roger Ver and Jian Wu actually really give too much of a fuck about the price of Bitcoin Cash ABC. So regardless of what Craig Wright says, regardless of what Calvin Ayre say, I think they care much more about money insofar as exchange price goes. I think Jian Wu and Roger Ver care much more about mining profitability and hashing rate and actual dominance of the marketplace. Just from what I've seen of them, I personally, again, I think that both. I think that Jian Wu is actually not a bad guy. I think you have to take everything with a grain of salt. And I know it's really popular to hate on these figures. Roger Ver, obviously a fairly shady character, but as opposed to what? As opposed to Craig Wright. Craig Wright's a fucking psychopath, dude. Like, I don't care if he is. Like, if that dude's Satoshi Nakamoto, man, it's just that's very, very, very like negative to me, man. That dude's a fucking absolute megalomaniac. So yeah, man, not super great. All right, so we can close out our commitment to trader stuff. Let's take a look at trading sentiment. We'll look at some other data points, and then we'll get into our TA. Bitcoin margin, trading sentiment. Let's just look at the day. Okay, so this is interesting. So today we actually had bulls and a little bit of profitable. Bulls profitable. We look at the price. Obviously, that declines quite immediately because we see the bulls are betting. As price is moving down, they're betting on this retracement. The price is going to continue to move up. Price moves against them, and now the bulls are back in an unprofitable position, while the bears are in a profitable position. Generally, again, look, this is what tends to reverse the market. All right, so we have bulls in unprofitable positions. We reach a peak in. If we see over here, we see that. Again, it's not always 100%, guys, but generally the way this works is that when we see a peak in bull income and when we see a peak in bull income unprofitability and when we see a peak in bear income profitability, we generally get a little bit of a retracement. And we can see that right here. We can see that right here where we have a peak in bear income and we see a peak in bull income unprofitability. And then we retrace. We see here, we see a decline in bear income and we see bulls in profitable positions and price moves against them. So now we're back in that situation where we have a decline in bull income and a peak in bear income. And price is moving up. So will it continue to move higher? Stay tuned, guys. Let's go look at the heat map. All right, so a little bit of a red day, but not the absolute bloodbath that we have been seeing. Okay, so not bad to see. BTC only down 1.7%. BTC dominance back up at 54%. XRP, ETH, XLM, everything kind of down across the board. We've got a few little baby bitch gainers, that Telegram groups are still pumping because that seems to be all they know how to do. When what they should be really doing is over on BitMEX, actually increasing their BTC position. There's just better ways to do it. I don't know. But some people are risk averse, and that's absolutely fine. We are still looking at certain coins on Binance because got to service the public, man. But our main interest right now is futures. And soon when we get over to Deribit, it will be options as well. Let's head over to CoinMarketCap, take a look at 24-hour volume. Gives us kind of an idea of what we can expect to see today. All right, so we just click on Baby Bitcoin right here. And we'll go to historical data. And what do we see? We see a little bit less of 24-hour volume yesterday, but look, we've got some nice volume as compared to these 3 days of low volume. We had high movements on these low volume days, right? Where we had where did we open? So on this day of high volume, we opened at 48.63. We closed at 44.51. That was a $400 movement right there. This high volume day, we opened at 44.65, closed at 46.02, fairly high volume day, as opposed to these low volume days. Now, where did we open yesterday? 38.80, 4,009. We opened the day at 40.15, and we have not closed yet. Or excuse me, this was yesterday. Opened at 40.15, closed at 37.79. And where's our 24-hour volume today on Bitcoin? We've got about 6,087,000 with about 7 hours for the daily candle to close. That's pretty good. We see rising open interest in Bitcoin at this lower price level. And what do we see happening in price action? Well, we see sideways price movement right now, guys. We see sideways price movement, building up, coiling up for something good. We see longs fairly low. This is actually starting to look fairly bullish to me, guys. We do see a lot of longs pile in right here, but we look at the shorts. Let's go take a look over at CoinFarm. Tell us what we can see about open positions on BitMEX. We look at open positions on CoinFarm. All right. So this is actually starting to look pretty good. We've got the shorts 54. If these jump up 55 more percent and the shorts get over their skis, then I'm predicting. Well, not predicting. I hate to use that word, but it is more likely the price will move up because that's an unsustainable ratio, guys. We're at the bottom of a downtrend. We're in the sideways period of accumulation. Volatility is extremely low, meaning we're expecting a high volatility movement here coming up soon. Shorts on Bitfinex fairly low. Longs on Bitfinex, very low. Longs on CoinFarm, fairly low. Shorts seeming to get out over their skis here. All we need to see is a little bit more dominance from the shorts, and we will see what happens. Let's go take a look at the last 30 minutes, see if we see anything supremely interesting. Boom, boom. We see him fighting it out right there. A lot of long positions coming in. The shorts right behind him to pick it up. Superiority to the longs in the last 30 minutes. Let's look at the last 24 hours. Superiority to the longs in the last 24 hours, guys. That's a good sign when we're looking at active positions right here. Let's take a look here at our little... Yeah, we see the longs right now stepping in to buy it up too as well, guys, on active data. Not bad to see. We've got a lot of long positions here at 4,000... Or excuse me. So what's this? 3681. A lot of established long positions right there, guys. So price declining a little bit, but they're going to want to heavily defend that position. Okay, so, and the last thing we'll look at is the bid-ask sum. Now, again, this has been crazy all over the place. Price plus volume last 6 hours. Let's see if we can get any read on this. Sideways price action across all exchanges. Volume fairly declining as we see in a consolidation period. That is adding to our knowledge that we're going to see a volatile movement here fairly soon. Looking at total market cap. Total market cap is still down a little bit from yesterday, looking at about 63. This is just Bitcoin, 63. Is that right? No, that can't be right. I'm reading that wrong. Here we go. Total Bitcoin market cap, 64 billion. All right, G, 1,000, 64,000 now. 64 billion current market cap of Bitcoin. So a little bit more than half of the entire market cap. Combined order book. Let's see how deep the order book looks here on BitMEX. Down to, let's see, let's get an important price level over here. Let's look at XBT. So down to 36, let's just call it 36.20, where I see current support at. 36.20, we're about... Don't die on me now, dude. What are you doing? There we go. 36.20, we're about 7.81k BTC deep. All right, yeah. So about 3,109 BTC on BitMEX deep. And resistance up to... Let's see, where did I want to hit? 3780... 3770, 3780, about 4,000. So the market's much more deep to the bid wall is much higher than the ask wall. The ask wall doesn't really pick up till 3741. Bid wall really picks up here at 3646. Yes, I did, sir. I did mention the NASDAQ news. Okay, so buy, and bid-ask sum. All right, so we look over at Bitfinex. The bid-ask sum within 5%, 24 hours. Looks pretty good, but Bitfinex, the bid-ask sum has been high for a while. They're still buying the fucking dip. We look at the last 6 hours. We see the exact same thing. We see this drop off, but now they're starting to feel a little bit more confident as price is moving up. Silly people. So let's look at BitMEX. BitMEX has been a little bit more rational. We see here that it makes much more sense. BitMEX, the asks were much higher than the bids for quite a while. They still are, actually. However, we see that bids are rising, open interest is rising. That's good to see. If we look at the entire order book, we can see, however, for the entire time, for the last 6 hours, that bids are still higher, meaning that at lower there's way more bids at lower price points in the order books than asks. So people still trying to scalp. However, you have to keep in mind manipulation, so spoofing of the order book system, so they will continue to move their order books down so that they continue to buy at a lower and lower price, and this is what they are attempting to do. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get into our technical analysis for today. Again, not a whole lot to say here, guys. We've been pretty much saying the same thing over for a while, guys. Yesterday, we had this period of accumulation. We were able to break up to the upside. Came down. We were able to take this trade yesterday in the trade group, and now today, if we're looking at yesterday, we have this period of distribution to get over. So this is forming strong resistance right now, and we've got this current period of accumulation that we have right now, looking to hold this area. Again, I had said yesterday that the bulls have to defend this area, or things are not looking very good. The bulls successfully defended this area. We had a nice bullish movement upwards to the top. We reached a peak yesterday of yesterday's session at 4,119. On Bitstamp, and then we've declined. We fell down below yesterday's point of control, and however, we fell back into the previous accumulation period over the last 3 days. So today, looking like mostly just accumulation. However, look at ATR falling rapidly. Every time we get very low ATR, we get a very violent movement. ATR drops here. We get a violent movement, ATR drops, violent movement, ATR drops, violent movement, guys. So what do we see here? We see ATR declining quite rapidly back down to lower levels that we saw over here. So we are looking for a quite volatile movement. Looking at longs and shorts, we can see right here that net longs and net shorts. This is actually percentages, I believe I have it in. Yep. So percentages, we have 46 longs to 54% shorts. Again, shorts starting to get out over their skis just a little bit. We do have a lot of longs piling at this price point right here, so we got a little bit of rejection from the point of control, but still ranging around the point of control on today's session. So we'll just wait for a violent movement up to the downside. Current resistance right now, yesterday's point of control at about 39.22. However, looking at a Fibonacci retracement, because I think it's more likely we move to the upside here. So swing high to swing low from, actually, I'd like to take yesterday's movement. Swing high to swing low. We'll see if we can reach back up to that 38.61 or that 39.53. And if we take the fib retracement from this area's real swing high to swing low, let's look here, guys. We can see that we held the 786 quite beautifully, and we're consolidating in between the 618 and the 786. So as long as that 786 holds at 36.14, looking fairly bullish to me. That's corresponding with where the volume area drops off. We've got a little bit of a baby volume cluster down here to hold us up. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So true support right now for me is at that, get the hell out of here. True support for me right now is right around our 786. That's where the high volume node drops off. So support right at this area at 36.12, give or take. And then pretty much our last area of support is down here at 35.03. All right. So bulls need to hold both these areas. However, I'll be fairly bearish if we break below this area right here. If we break below 36.14, the only thing that I would look to see is a stop loss hunt again, but I don't think we're going to get a fourth one of that. We've already had 1, 2, 3 of those, so hopefully we're more likely the price moves upwards from here. However, I am still on the lookout for that swing trade breakdown, because if we do break down, that's going to be another trade like we see right here, guys. And again, had we had previous knowledge or data, we would have taken the trade. But however, when you get a breakdown below support on high volatility, I mean, look how far price goes. So looking at the daily chart right here for the same data, and all right. So again, let's take a look at that weekly logarithmic chart. And take off EPVR and this and that. Okay, fantastic. And auto that, baby. All right, and we can delete that and delete that fib retracement. All right, so looking at the weekly, zooming in on the weekly, guys, still closing. We'll wait. We'll see. The weekly candle just opened, okay, guys? We closed yesterday's weekly candle above that logarithmic trend line. And our 200 period moving average just hit the shit out of my microphone. 200 period moving average is currently right at about 31.33. So that's probably going to rise up to about 31.50. So that's our next area of support, guys, at 31. And if we look at VPVR, see if we can get more accurate data. 50. Oh, too large. Probably gonna have to look at it linearly. All right, so let's look at this baby like that. We'll go to the daily chart so we can get rid of those bad boys right there. All right. Gonna have to fix that out. So let's just go to where I have. Just go to where I already had it. I was switching over. I switched over to Bitstamp instead of Coinbase. Here we go. Here I have my trend lines. So looking at this, these are corresponding to VPVR support and resistance. So looking down below us, 33.53. So that's about, that's roughly below us, our next possible area to catch. Below that, 29.31, guys. So that's all corresponding fairly well to that 200 period moving average and the logarithmic trend line, anywhere from about 2,900 to 3,100. We'll look for price to possibly pick up. Again, below that, guys, it's not looking good. Below that, well, we've got about down to about 2,200. So if we get down to that region, we'll measure those those movements out from there. But there's a volume cluster right here from 29.31 to 22.07. So about, well, actually, let's look down here. 21.52. I'll zoom in and get more better accurates, but I don't even want to look that far ahead into the future until we get there, guys. So we'll take things one thing at a time, one Satoshi at a time. Longs and shorts, this is fairly interesting. We had shorts pretty much skyrocket right here. So this is the 30-minute chart. So shorts kind of really picked up just in the last like few hours, but now they're just falling off the map. We can see longs pick up too, but we see kind of like falling open interest. So this was interesting because right before I started the show, it was conversely. So we see longs rising here at the 60-minute chart. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. Yep, so we see longs rising, open interest rising, and shorts pick up, and shorts just dramatically drop off just in the last couple hours. So this was interesting because we were seeing rise in both, but now it seems people are deleveraging as price is moving sideways. That tends to happen. People are covering and exiting out of their positions if they feel that price is going to move against them. Okay, so hopefully that that gives you where I think we're at, guys. Sideways price action. There we go. Sideways price action. Looking for a break to the upside. Same thing on XBT USD. Go take a look at Ethereum Bitcoin. Ethereum Bitcoin, pretty interesting baby right here. We had this very volatile period of distribution. We fell down below. We had this bull flag drop down below it, and now we're getting a little bit of a peak back up. So I'm not exactly sure on Ethereum Bitcoin. I haven't done as much analysis on this as I'd like to because I've been following XBT just so closely. What is interesting is that I didn't take this trade, but it's always validating to know it would have worked out. Right here is the trade that I had set up for yesterday. I didn't post it, but it would have worked out quite nicely. So yeah, but so well. And if you guys, hopefully you guys can understand the justification for that trade. It's a type 2, where I'm looking for a strong, or actually a type 3, excuse me, a strong reversal trade. So looking at the session 2 days ago where I saw price was strongly reversed, I see right here where price did reverse strongly. We get a bump in our volume. We get a very strong volume cluster right there. So I just wait for price to reverse back to that area and I go long. And then, you know, again, there's different ways to do this, but as far as my targets go, then I like to target, in this case, I was targeting the volume cluster right here on yesterday's session. Actually it would have came right back up into the accumulation zone. So I didn't have this knowledge. I charted this out yesterday. I didn't have this data. So if I had this data today, I probably would have made a more conservative target of around here, but Ethereum BTC holding up pretty good on today's session above the point of control. And again, volatility dropping. So we're looking for that movement upwards. Now we are holding on ETH USD on BitMEX, we are holding that ascending trend line fairly well. So we're looking at something a little bit different when we're looking over here. So Ethereum Bitcoin looking kind of strong, but again, just sideways. I'm looking for a violent break movement here, guys. So we are above today's session's point of control. And I did have these areas of support and resistance mapped out. This was actually yesterday. So I don't really feel strongly about Ethereum Bitcoin, guys. Again, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the daily chart and let's look at the big picture. Okay. Ethereum and Bitcoin's actually starting to look really good on the daily chart, guys. Excuse me. So let's look at the big picture here, guys. So we've got obviously rising volume signifying an uptrend. Then we've got this very, very, very sharp downturn, but it's falling volume signifying a retracement, guys. Let's look at that. What is that right there? I'm expecting that to be about a 50%. That's a little bit more than a 618 retracement, guys. So 618 retracement off this entire movement would have been a good entry position for you. The 786 held as well. And then what did we have? We had a pullback up and then another fallback. So where did actually price come to? Where did it test? I bet that's about a 50% retracement. Almost a 50% retracement. Came back up to about that 50% mark right there. Would have been your risk line and then fell back down. And now we're down back in our lower accumulation zone, guys. Look at the VPVR. This is our highest area of traded volume in this price action. Looking at Binance. Let's go in and take a look here. We'll even do TD sequential on Heikin-Ashi because on longer time frames, that's pretty goddamn spot on, man. So let's see, what do we got here? We got our 13 count to the downside right here, reversed price fairly well. We had a little bit more of drawdown, and on the current candle, we've got a perfected 9 setup that gives us a potential long entry with our risk auto-magically calculated for us down here at 26594. So measuring from the downside to current price action right now, it's about 7% to the downside, guys. 7% to the downside, and we'll look to see if we can get back up here to our 55 period moving average, get a little bit of a bounce at this point in time. 55 period moving average and our TDST resistance right around 3172. So that's pretty good R to R, guys. That's about 13% to the upside, 14% to the upside, 7% to the downside. So that's your good 2 to 1, and you've got this potential double bottom right here. Looking at Heikin-Ashi, you can see declining momentum. And what's interesting is that you have this period of consolidation, you have support right here, and then you have very strong volume, not breaking down below support. So this to me is indicative of oversold volume, oversold price action, not actual breakdown volume, guys. But we'll just keep our eye over the next few days and see what happens. But this is actually starting to look pretty healthy to me if you're wanting to counter trend trade. Obviously, it doesn't look healthy in the fact that you're following a strong uptrend, but it does not look bad to me, actually. Okay, so looking at XRP. Oh man. Let's see here. Looking at XRP BTC. Let's extend this trend line out now because I think that we can. So let me go to a higher time frame to do that. There we go. So look at that. Look at that. Came down, tested the trend line, bounced right off of it, came back up, coming down to test it again right now. Let's go to our daily chart on XRP BTC here. We are still above the descending trend line, and we're now holding on to this local ascending trend line as well. Broke out of this falling wedge formation. XRP BTC still looking not too bad. Let's look at the big picture. I'm gonna have to fix this because I don't like that. Good. Okay. Templates, save. Thank you. Okay, cool. Looking at the big picture here, guys, on the daily charts. Let's go to Heikin-Ashi. So, daily chart, we still have the momentum from the 55 period moving average, still trading above. Let's see here. We were able to break above TDST support. We do have this 9 count to the upside on the Heikin-Ashi candles, and we can see right here that's been fairly spot on just recently in price action. Price reversed on a 9, price reversed on a 9. So let's take a gander here and see. We've got this fairly strong accumulation zone right here, which seems to make sense. A lot of bulls defending their position very strongly. We've had that 1 to 4 candle correction period. We continue moving upwards just a little bit, but this is more sideways. Again, Heikinashi takes the average of candles. And then we have very low volatility movement downwards, very low volume movement downwards, guys, with a lot of indecision doji candles. And more support from, obviously the bears able to push price, close price down, but not able to push the bulls defending quite well as we kind of reach into this accumulation zone. So we'll look for this ascending trend line to hold, and we'll see what kind of bounce we can get from the bulls here when we get a price flip. All right, cool. Yeah, this would have been your short signal right here. But again, I would have just targeted the ascending trend line. So I'm not going to get over my skis too bad there. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good there on XRP BTC. Bitcoin Cash ABC. Bitcoin Cash ABC did not hold the ascending trend line recently. We broke out of it sideways. Still looking to break above this. Descending trend line on Binance, and then I'll be a little bit more confident to take a long position on Bcash ABC. Actually looking at price action, I guess we'd be more inclined to take SV up to the upside. But actually, I actually am inclined. If I could, I'd short the shit out of this because it needs to come down. So today's session just accumulating right around the point of control. ATR getting extremely low. We're gonna get a movement here, guys. We're gonna get a movement. Is it gonna be a movement back up to? Let's look at volume here. We can see. We'll be able to see what areas have been tested and what areas haven't. And as you guys in the group know, that I do have an open position on Bcash right now. It's not open. I have a target set. I have an idea of where price is gonna go. But just for everybody else, let's see right here. So we already had this point of control tested, so that's already been hit. This area has not, let's see, it was hit here, it was hit here. This area has already been hit, so that only leaves us really one more area that hasn't been hit, guys. So you can use your head right here, looking at my type 3 trade setup, strong reversal. See the volume cluster right here? All right, but yeah, I think I'm going to take more of a balanced approach to ABC for a swing trade and wait until we get back above this trend line, or until we break above this this trend line, or wait till we get close to this trend line to short it back down to the descending. So jury's kind of out on ABC right now. We'll see what happens after this movement, see where volume brings us. But it's pretty clear right here. Highly volatile, but still a ranging, just still range bound. No trend, just range bound. So yeah. All right, guys. Just for the hell of it, we'll look at Stellar Lumens. I was looking at old baby Stellar Lumens earlier. Kind of the same thing as XRP. Not looking too weak, guys. Not looking too weak. We can see this accumulation box that I've kind of drawn back in our high volume node area and our value area here. We can see that price is moving down on a little bit of lowered volatility, and we've got these long tails to the downside, indicating this is an area where the bulls that entered here are very strongly trying to defend their positions. We also have TDST support right here from our previous 9 count to the upside, so we'll see if this holds, guys. More likely that it is. XLM, fairly strong coin to bet on. And we can see here just still, like XLM still coiling up for a movement, guys. Never really entered into an uptrend, guys, on the daily chart. A strong uptrend like we like to see with stuff, so. All right, guys, we're gonna take a 30-second break, pause for the cause, and then we're gonna engage chat and answer questions. And then we'll talk about some fun stuff coming up in the future, guys. All right, guys, thanks for bearing with. All right, guys, so I'm going to redo the website. Well, add something to the website to make everything easier to find. Because people ask us a lot how they can support the show, and of course, if you really want to support the show, if you want to increase your trading, just ask us about our trading services. $49.99 a month until the end of November. Probably have a Christmas discount when we get up there too. That's the best way, but that's for you guys as well. One-on-one mentorship, trade setups. You can see the trade setups that I take. The easiest way, obviously, too, if you just want to support the show and you just enjoy the stream, you can go get some merch. I ordered some merch last night, so I got it on that Cyber 18. Thanks to everybody who went and got some merch, guys. I really appreciate it, guys. Scott did a really good job with adding. I love this hodl design, man. It's really, really tight, dude. For 9,000. Getting ready to go crazy. Thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so we've got 3 different designs right now. We've got the hodl shirt with the Cracking Crypto logo as the O. I think that's obviously pretty awesome. Just your big old Cracking Crypto logo right here. And then if you look on page 3, you can see the other design. Which is hodl with the Cracking Crypto logo to the right as well. So I had to go through all this and see like all the work he had done, man. Like there's like everything in here, like everything you could imagine. It's pretty crazy, like the amount of stuff that's on here. I got a new coffee mug too, so that should be coming too. I got the hodl with the contrast mugs. That'd be pretty sweet. But I am going to be getting a replacement for my big old tumbler right here. Kind of works in, guys. So that's something you guys can do. But then I'm going to add like the super simple way, guys. If you just start supporting the stream, I'm going to add like affiliates up here. So if you look down in the description below, like, you know, if you want to trade on Binance, you can click through our affiliate link. Helps you, helps us. There's a BitMEX affiliate link down there. If you go to our Discord, we have referral links. You can get free VPN service. Helps our dev Ben out. Absolutely, you don't have to provide any payment information or any personal information. It can be completely anonymous. You get free VPN service through Windscribe. Fantastic. That's what I use. Yeah, there's just all kinds. You know, we got a lot of affiliate links, so easy. You know, like add the Amazon stuff, and thinking about making a Patreon. I don't know. It's probably what we need to do, just for people who want to support the stream. So, okay, cool. So let's go to a little bit of chat engagement, man. Wow, a lot of chat to go through. A lot of chat to go through. All right, so let's see what I can do, guys. Let's see. Tell me more about X42, please. Stygian Reckman asks, you know, we had Gabe on the show not too long ago. I should probably bring him back on, get an update on what's going on with X42. If you guys, oh, and by the way, I need to send out the new subscribers that we have. We had about 10 subscribers in the last week, guys. So really appreciate it, guys. Trading Group's doing really good right now. I need to send out. There's like 3 people that I haven't gotten their 10x42 as well. Let's take a look at x42 actually. Startx.com, and we'll go to markets, and we'll look at x42. So let's see here. Last price, 73.10, 24-hour high. That's a big high. 24-hour low, 68.10. So down 22%. 24-hour volume still good, man. 24-hour volume continues to rise. It's lower than its peak. I think the last time, I think it was peak was like 6.3. But not doing too bad, guys. Order book still looks pretty good the last time I looked at it. So here's our sell orders. Let's see here. Here's our buy orders. Buy orders fell off a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. Still like X42. Very fast coin, good project, good people. Yeah, it's going to be taking the same hits that everything else has taken as well in the bear market, but it is what it is. I like the guys. I like the people. Try to see if we can't get Gabriel back on and get an update. Bitcoin's not dead. Morning-based meme line trader. Good morning to you, sir. I think you already know what I'm going to ask you to look at. Link, I'll look at that. Remco Iaken asks if I can look at the Digibyte chart. Sure, I'll take a look at it. Why not? Look at the historical chart of Digibyte. It's now creating almost exactly the same pattern, but only on a bigger scale. Better buy Digibyte only for... Mr. Sexy Forever says, damn, 80-ounce tumbler. Is it 80 ounces? 30 ounces. 30 ounces. Got to drink a lot of water, man. Remco, I think Digibyte will sneak up on people. People will shoot themselves. They did not see it coming. People say the same thing about BTC. Can we stop with all the Bitcoins already? Nope, we can't. Remco's got some heavy bags. NASDAQ also said a long time ago, Digibyte is a coin to bet the house on. I think the forks killed BTC. Definitely didn't help it, man. Linky's looking good. Jürgen Ernst, good morning to you, sir. I want to fist fight CSW. Okay. Buy Mobius, sir. We'll take a look at that. I will ref on the fight light. Expect a bias in your favor. Jürgen Ernst. Yes, I feel you, man. Agreed. Only thing we're showing around here is BTC. Remco, I will take a look at BTC, man. Or excuse me, at DGB. Craig Wright is like a crypto supervillain. Yeah, he kind of is like BTC Lex Luthor. Oh, fuck. Looked like we had a little bit of a Digibyte Shade Throne showdown in here, man. Let's see here. XRP Squirt, good morning, brother, to you. Never lose until you sell. That is also true. Digibyte Big Pump. True, until it goes away like the other 1,500 shitcoins. Oh, man. Let's see here. Yagami says, I just looked at Digibyte on CMC. Looks like a dead cat bounce, but I'm the worst trader I know. Can you also do TA? We got 2 people asking for TA on DGB, so I'll take a look at it. Yeah, I mean, listen, like, from what I know about Digibyte, like, I believe it's a BTC fork, the best that I know. I think it is. Crypto Recorder, October 18th. With the increased geopolitical uncertainties in the world economy, it is becoming increasingly clear that fundamental change is imminent. The 2 largest economies are engaged in a trade war, and the U.S. is just falling short of declaring China a currency manipulator. In the developing world, fiat currencies are being affected by the rising interest rates in the US, and some of them are already facing increased inflation rates. All of these factors could confluence into a situation where a decentralized and trustless system emerges as a replacement to the financial system as we know it. All right. Bitcoin's core weakness is that its mining power is controlled by China. Not true. This makes it highly unlikely for the US or any other Western nations to adopt it. Not true. Maybe. The other crypto that is widely believed is XRP, and that's that it has strong ties to a US company, Ripple. Yeah, it's also centralized. One crypto that is underestimated, but one that could gain global acceptance as a currency is Digibyte. Digibyte is unique in the sense that it has no affiliations to any country. It's a global community and has never shown any leanings toward any nation or any group of nations in the global geopolitical hegemony. This makes it acceptable across the geopolitical spectrum. It is also fully decentralized, which means that no entity can claim control over Digibyte. Yeah, I believe Digibyte is a BTC fork, but I'm not sure what the big differences are. Let's continue. The crypto recorder shilling hard. Shilling Digibyte hard. Digibyte's core features make it the best version of Bitcoin available. First, it has a network that is as secure as Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, it is more secure than Bitcoin. That's because it is secured by 5 mining algorithms that make it unbreakable. On top of that, Digibyte is fast for sending value over the internet. Its transaction speeds pretty much rival those of centralized systems. It competes effectively in terms of cost as well. These features make Digibyte the best version of Bitcoin out there. This analysis is quite lacking. You have to look at So, here's what I want to do. Digibyte. So, first off, is it open source? i.e., do they have a GitHub? Digibyte was created by Jared Tate. 5 mining algorithms. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You know, I've never heard anything really bad about Digibyte. And like I said, to the best that I know, it is a... There we go, GitHub. Oh, here's their repo. Let's see here. 40 repos. Let's look at 51 contributions in the last year. No activity yet for the period of October to November 2018. Only 5 commits in 1 repo in September. Only 1 pull request. Hasn't seen a whole lot of activity lately since February. That was 17 commits in 2 repos. So that's not too bad. Not a whole lot of updates lately, as opposed to Bitcoin, which has a ton all the time because it's constantly getting better. I don't know. I'll have my FA guy look into DGB. But, you know, let's just take this, you know, again, I'm not fundamentally bearish or bullish on any crypto, but it seems to me that DGB is just competing to be currency. So I'm going to have to take my stance that that it can't outcompete Bitcoin. That's just my strong opinion. Bitcoin has first mover advantage. It has the more secure blockchain. It has the most spread out mining. It's not centralized in China. A lot of mining has moved to China because of low cost of electricity. However, that is changing as we see rapidly right now. It has the most active development. It has the best developers. It has the strongest community. It's got the most interest from financial institutions. And could DGB be a good coin to hedge with? But yeah, again, hashtag not financial advice, but the way that I do things is my portfolio is weighted in Bitcoin, and everything else is additions to that I use as speculative investments. And at this current point in time, there's no altcoins that I'm looking to speculatively invest in. Bitcoin's really the only thing that I feel comfortable trading at this point in time, and other things on BitMEX as well. Because they're paired to BTC. Of course, everything's paired to BTC, but I hope you guys can understand the nuanced difference there. And I will wait for these more speculative assets to either get a ruling from the SEC to pay their fines if they did an ICO. Again, DGB didn't ICO or anything like that, but I want to get clarification on that. I believe it's a fork of BTC, so that would mean that it would probably be fairly decentralized. But again, I mean, it depends on how they did their Genesis block. It depends on the UTXO set. It depends on, the devs that they have working for them. It depends on who has access to their GitHub repo, who has access to their core code, how many clients are there. These are all a lot of factors that you have to factor in. And I think that, just overwhelmingly BTC has those benefits. I mean, there's no, all this stuff about like something, there's this coin that's going to overtake, BTC. Well, again, like people have been saying that for years and years and years and years and years. And I don't think there's going to be anything that overtakes BTC until I see proof of that. And it's going to be a long, hard battle. Now, does that mean there can't be corollaries to BTC? I think there's probably only going to be one. That's the only thing that seems to make sense. We have one global reserve currency. We have one fiat currency, per country. And if you go to a country, they use one currency. So, I don't really see how Dash and Digibyte and BTC and all these other things are going to coexist. It doesn't make sense to me. I can get the idea for like tokens, colored coins, and things that are running on side chains. I get the idea of all that. But I don't really see a world where we have hundreds of competing cryptocurrencies that are just basically competing to be money. Doesn't mean that the team's bad. I'll look a little bit more into it. Love the ETN app for Android coming out very soon. I'm kind of bearish on Electroneum, but maybe that's just because I know too many people that got fleeced by buying the ICO. But again, that's really not representative of everything out there. But I don't really like ETN. Mr. Coin, roger that. Good to see a Biz Money ETN going to pop once market turns positive. Yesterday's movement, roger that. Biz Money, I agree. Robert Leonardo, mini pattern on the 6,000 to 6,800 range on the hourly, which is a head and shoulders, like a long tail after the right shoulder. See negative 400 soon. Are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about there, bro. I looked at too many coins today. I'm pretty modest too. I just want Link to hit 2,500 so I can afford a yacht and some Lambos. I'm not greedy. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll do. That's 3. XRP fans in the hizzy. What XRP pair on what exchange did he just look at? XRP BTC on Binance. Gabe Anderson, I really appreciate that. Gabe and Yagami, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. I think you can use these platforms as tip bots. Yeah, let me check them out. We'll copy those and take a look. Again, I'm still kind of new to Streamlabs, guys, so I definitely need some help with updating it. I had it like set over to Twitch, and then I relogged in for YouTube, and now it gets the YouTube subscriber pop-ups, but I'd like to cross-reference it. Yeah, they all take a cut, but it's cool, man. Tip jar's right there. Did you buy an article written by increasingly nervous DG Field? Can I share my views of crypto in the future, say 2 years out, in regards to price and adoption in 2 sentences? Regulation and institutional interest. That's what we're going to see in the next 2 years. increasing regulation, and increased institutional interest, and more widespread adoption. However, the problem is, so this is more than 2 sentences now, but again, what we're going to see over the next 2 years is going to be fairly fundamental. Again, it's going to take time for retail traders to be marketed to. And when we see that, retail traders being marketed to, the ETFs, the financial packages, new financial derivatives for individuals to invest in and trade on, Bitcoin options is going to do massive things for the price in America, at least, because since CFDs were banned in America, they're still popular in Europe and in Asia. Options of what are primarily traded in the United States. John Dunn says Digibyte is more susceptible to exploits, having more mining algorithms and more potential attack surfaces. I'm going to go with John on that one because he's a very smart individual, probably smarter than me. This is at least when it comes to like code stuff. So Gabe asks, can I give my thoughts on ETN before I blast off? I did. I kind of talked about that a little bit more. BTC store of value, Digibyte daily transactions. That's called Lightning Network, sir. Yes. Third Eye Trader, these many currency coins have to disappear. If crypto is going to work, it has to be simple. Atomic swaps, Lightning. How does it all coexist? Lightning daily Lightning is just payment channels, guys. Payment channels have existed for a long time. BTC store of value, everything settled on the blockchain, transparency. Atomic swaps, if you want to convert between different things on the blockchain. Fairly simple. Atomic swaps and Lightning, that all makes sense to me. It'll all sort itself out, man. But I think a lot of these coins are going to go to zero. Pretty much all tokens, I think, are garbage. If you are do you know I can go make an ERC20 token right now in about 10 minutes. Like the idea that anybody bought an ERC20 token thinking it was going to be anything special was not good marketing, guys. Not a good idea. Because it's easy to make an ERC20 token. You're not buying a share of a company. You're not going to get, if the company does well, you're not necessarily going to do better. You were just speculating on an ERC20 or on an Ethereum derivative token. You're just better off going out and buying shares in the company. Got one with HODL and logo on the bottom too. Digibyte does not need Lightning Network. That would depend on if it could scale, if it's scaled to the transactions per second or transactions per day that Bitcoin handles, the amount of monetary units. I take it you are not a fan of XRP myself. I'm not a fan of XRP, especially the Ripple company, but that doesn't mean that I don't think that it's going to do well financially. Tokens 1K USD end of year. Yeah, the entire market cap for tokens will be 1,000 by the end of the year. Yeah, most likely. Yep. I agree with you on that one. Oh, look, my ticker was gone. I always forget about that. Let's refresh it. Hopefully the prices are right. There we go. Hopefully those are correct prices. People are always like, the prices are off by like 90%. I don't know. Didn't make the ticker, guys. It's just there for visual appeal. So let's look at Digibyte. And then Chainlink. Actually, let's look at Chainlink real quick first. Just for funsies. We'll look at it a couple different ways, guys. Man, it's getting hot in here. Let's see here. So, what do we see here? We've got recycled sell setups on the way up, and then we've got a perfected 9 count to the downside that wicks right off TDST support. Doesn't look too bad. On the daily chart, we can see that that Chainlink did hold the 55 period moving average. Not bad. So we had a little bit of a retracement. Pretty extensive retracement, honestly. Fell down below the 618. So really, for this to make sense, let's take a look actually here from the swing high to the swing low. Yep, came down to that 618 retracement. That seems to make sense right there. Can we get some confluence? Can we get some confluence up in this bitch? So it's subjective where you measure your Fibonacci from, but I'm cool with it. So we'll just see. We'll see if we can stay within this range right here between 61.34 and 95.43. That's a pretty extensive range, but we're going to have to just wait and see if this is a little bit of a dead cat bounce. A lot of selling pressure right here. So obviously aggressive sellers trying to defend their position. Generally, when we do get a color flip on the Heikin Ashi, it lasts for 1 to 3 candles. So we'll see right here how things look. Let's go down to our 6-hour chart. Actually, let's look at our 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, we got a little bit of a consolidation after the perfected 9. We got a 8 count, reversed price to the downside, perfected 9, reversed price. We're on an 8 of 9, looking like we're gonna get an unperfected 9 because this is looking like an indecision right here. Doesn't look too terrible, guys. I'll throw it out there for the link, guys. On the daily chart, looking more like a less of a sustained bounce, because we do have rising volume here on the decline, and it seems to me like we had an initial injection of capital, and then we have less here at the peak, which generally isn't indicative of blow off top, but generally, when we see a blow off top that signifies trend reversal, that would be when we see something like this. So we'll see. We'll just see how we got to wait out for a couple days here, guys. But if our 55 period moving average holds here on the daily chart, so at 71.27, we still have the upwards momentum. If we have it on the daily, that means we've lost it. Okay, so we've lost it on the 12-hour chart. We're looking to regain it. 12-hour chart, we're hitting that resistance right now. 4-hour charts, we've also regained the momentum, looking to hold that right now. Let's take a look at, well, let's look at the VPVR on the daily chart. See where volume is right here. So yeah, that makes sense where we wicked off, where we have a lot of aggressive buyers that re-entered right here. A lot of aggressive buyers wanting to defend their position around this zone. 618, we get confluence with that. So we'll see if this zone can hold right here. Does that zone needs to hold, or we're looking at consolidation at a lower level, or we're looking to drop down? So either we consolidate around this region, but yeah, if this zone doesn't hold and TDST support doesn't hold, that's probably not going to hold because that is in a low volume node area. We'll just look for price to fall back down to these lower areas right here. So that's about as much downside as you've got upside. So that's 17% to the downside, and the current range that you could possibly be trading is about a 50% range. That's a fairly impressive range. Let's look at this. Let's look at the Ichimoku here. Ichimoku, you also have the positive momentum. You came down below your baseline. Let's look at this with Japanese candlesticks, actually. Sorry about that. Yep, same thing. So you came down below your baseline. Didn't really make it all the way down to your Kumo cloud, but popped up. Okay, cool. And now we'll see how this daily candle closes. This isn't a very strong bullish candle to me right here. We got this spinning top doji right here. Generally, that means we're going to either see a little bit of sideways movement at this point in time, or this is not a confirmation of an uptrend, especially with this strong spike in volume. The bears are really trying to smash this baby back down. So yeah, we're going to have to wait. After you get a spinning top doji like this, see here, you see another spinning top doji right here, and price does move down. You get a spinning top doji right here at the bottom, price moves up. It's not the most bullish sign. You get a spinning top doji right here, price moves sideways before a movement. So it's not a reversal candle, it's just an indecision candle, meaning the price doesn't really know where it wants to go at this point in time. So we'll just see if we can hold our positive momentum. So our conversion line and our 55 EMA stay above the cloud. TDST support is the area that I'd be looking at here right now. So 6,900 to 67.61. See if that area can hold. Maybe we can get a little bit of a bounce up here, guys. But I don't know. I'm still inclined to think that Chainlink can't grow much more from here. But I'm willing to have my mind changed. We'll keep our eye on it, guys. Looking like a little bit of a dead cat bounce to me, though. Measuring from top to the bottom. Yeah, we came up to that 618 and tested it. That's generally confirmation of the trend that we're going to be moving in. So we'll just see if we can get above that 618 or that 786 and keep making higher highs. But to me, it looks a little bit like not it's not a dead cat pounce. It's just a retracement after downwards movement, in which case probably more downwards movement will follow. But we'll just see, guys. We have the positive momentum. We'll see if we can hold it. But it's looking tenuous right now. It's looking tenuous. Let's see here. Just to know, like ETN. Yeah, T-bar and BitConnect are scams. I wouldn't say ETN is a scam. I just don't see how it's. I don't really get it, man. What indicator am I using? I used a lot there, man. Just kind of did a rapid fire indicator movement. Ichimoku, VPVR, Fibonacci EMAs, Heikin-Ashi candles. TD Sequential by JD Lim. If you guys haven't watched it, go check out my Trading Crypto 101 video. Getting really tight in that wedge table here. Yeah, baby. Getting tight in the wedge table. Yeah, this kind of looks like a bear flag to me. Not gonna lie. We'll just see how it plays out. Indecision candle right now on the daily chart. So we'll just check back in tomorrow with Mr. Chainlink. Mr. Digibyte. Digibyte on a little bit of a tear. Let's check the daily chart. Digibyte on a little bit of a tear. Daily chart, 55 period. EMA acting as resistance, guys. We have not been able to get above the 55 EMA since July of 2018. So that we're not looking at any indications of a reversal in trend until we see that happen. So nothing to get super over your skis about. Let's see here. Yeah, Digibyte's got a long history, guys. Digibyte's been around since 2014. And we've had some nice runs and some nice tears, guys. But kind of the same thing, man. Like, we weren't able to even make a 618 pullback. Not even a 382 after that run up top well, this is what, June of 2017? And then this is as much as, this is the January 2018 run. So really, this experienced the first crypto bull run back in the summer of 2017. Couldn't even top at 618 back on the next movement. So, and then the 236. So that's kind of the pattern that we saw for BTC, but BTC was able to make much more impressive retracements and moves back up. Other altcoins as well too. So again, I'm gonna hold the same pattern that I've held on all altcoins until we get above that 55 period moving average. I don't give a fuck on the daily chart. Don't give a fuck because we see it here. We see a little bit of a run. We see a little bit of a run here, rejection. We see a little bit of a run here, rejection. A little bit of a run here, rejection. A little bit of a run here. Couldn't even get above the 21. A little bit of a run here. Rising volume. Okay, that's cool. Let's scroll back. We see the exact same thing. Here, rising volume. Here, rising volume. Here, rising volume. So we get above that 55 period moving average, and I'll be interested to look at this a little bit more. RSI not oversold on the daily chart. We get a little bit of a MACD crossover here, but well, that's not. So that's kind of interesting. We do get that MACD crossover here on the daily chart. We haven't gotten that before, at least as oversold as we are now. We do get that actually over here. Actually, we get it every time we make a run back up to the 55 EMA, but this looks a little bit more impressive. A little bit more impressive, maybe just because of the volume. So let's take a look at our Ichimoku. So, yeah, we've topped below the zero line on a Fisher transform once, twice, 3 times. Looking for a potential fifth. Same thing, 55 EMA, the way that I have my Ichimoku settings. So the baseline, we see confluence with exactly where we're seeing a little bit of resistance from here on the Ichimoku. So we were getting confluence with the 55 EMA period as well. We were getting rejection pretty much from our Tencon, our conversion line. So we'll see. We'll just see, man. We'll see. See on a daily chart if we can actually get above our resistance that's been holding us down pretty much all goddamn year. We see this was just a failed bounce, rejection from the cloud. Yeah, so once we broke down from the cloud, guys, it's just been downwards movement. So I'm not going to get excited about anything until we get above this. Then I could look at potentially a range trade. Then you could look at potential range trade from here to the cloud. Stop loss set underneath, underneath your conversion line here. And then if we get up into that cloud, then we can look for an edge-to-edge trade. That's a profitable trade. This to me does not look like a profitable trade because it's more likely to just come back down at any point like it's done so many times previously. Let's look at the big picture. All right. We see the same thing, 55 period moving average, and we've got TDST resistance right here at 34, excuse me, at 343. So haven't been able to make it above TDST resistance since September of 2018, when we fell back down below it. And actually, that's not really the case. We haven't been able to get above TDST resistance since August of 2018. Not looking fantastic. Yeah, like this could be the bottom, but we've said that about just about everything, and we've got some pretty strong resistance coming in right there. Actually is looking not as great the more I look at it. It's looking more like these rejection candles. I mean, look, just look. Look what rejection candles look like, guys. Boom. No follow through, no follow through, no follow through, no follow through. And I don't see why it's going to be any different here. Like Bitcoin hasn't changed what it's doing. This to me looks like Bitcoin is sideways. What happens with altcoins? They pump. It's not long-term sustained movement. It's not indicative of the next altcoin bull run. It's just people moving out of BTC to chase gains. You've got people on Telegram and Discord shilling stuff. That's not what we do. Yeah, I mean, could it be the beginning of an uptrend? Could be. You have to wait for confirmation, guys. You have to wait for confirmation. And my confirmation is daily chart, 55 period moving average, moving strongly above that. Or let's go Ichimoku, moving above the, moving into the cloud, moving above the cloud, moving above the conversion line. Let's look at, got a pretty high volatility movement here, but I don't know. ATR obviously low, so we are looking for some kind of movement, but ATR can just go lower, guys. ATR can just go lower. So that's what I think about Digibyte. It's a wait and see coin. All the altcoins are wait and see coins, guys. I don't see. I mean, Link, and the exception of a very few others, XLM, BAT a little bit, Ravencoin there for a while. Not indicative of strong uptrends. We haven't moved into a strong uptrend, guys. Like, let's wait a little bit. I mean, geez, we've got resistance right here too, horizontal support and resistance. So let's calm down and wait. We'll take a look at this baby tomorrow. I'd much rather pay the premium and buy into a coin when it's in a confirmed uptrend than pay the discount of losing money because it rejects from resistance like it normally does. Mr. Stellar Lumens starting to look pretty decent too as well. Looking at the daily chart, the big picture right here, we've got our accumulation zone right here. Looking where we can see where the bulls really want to support price, where they started running price up right here. Bulls aggressively defending their position. We've got TDST support right here. So we will just look for this area to hold, guys. Now it's a long range, 35, 55, 36. That's not big compared to altcoins. You got about 5 cents. You got 5%, guys. So we'll just wait, guys. In overall, I mean, you can look and see, like, even though this is fairly ranging, this is not an uptrend. This is still range bound, all right? And we're tightening up, all right? Looking more like we're going to break to the upside here on XLM. Again, we talked about this before. Look at this low volume node, guys. We get up here, things start to look very, very shiny for XLM. So I might actually pick up some XLM if we get a Heikin-Ashi color change here. And we're able to start closing above, and we hold our 55 period moving average. So this is actually a good speculative time to enter. We've held a little bit of the uptrend here, holding the 55 period moving average. We have a fake breakdown here and a fake breakdown here. Price reverses on a 9 right there. And we'll just wait and see, guys. We'll just wait and see. See if we can get an actual 9 out of this baby. See if we can hold TDST support. And if we close back above that 55 period moving average, I'd look to take a swing at XLM. Another one, that is. Oh, all right. Let's double check the Let's double check the chat, and it's about time for me to go, guys. Boom, boom. I started drawing meme lines, but I don't know how to remove them. Now my trading view is a complete mess. Right click, remove all drawing tools. Light Yagami. Or you can just click on one and click delete. Press delete on your keyboard. Thoughts on Murray math lines? Don't have any thoughts on them. Holy crap, DGB chart looking a lot like XRP to me. Shut it down. Can you explain in a minute or two how the Ichimoku indicator works? Yeah, sure. Ichimoku in 2 minutes or less. Let's pull it up on Stellar Lumens. Templates, Ichimoku and Fisher Transform. So the Ichimoku is comprised of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Count them 5. I only have 4 on this chart because I don't use lagging span. However, it can be used. I find that it doesn't matter whether you use Japanese candlesticks or Heikinashi. It works pretty well. What you have, and these are my settings for Ichimoku. It's not some state secret. So when you load up Ichimoku, and okay, so to get Ichimoku, you're just going to go to Indicators and Trading View and type in Ichi, and it's going to come out right there. There are all kinds of super duper awesome versions of Ichimoku. Scott uses a super duper awesome version of Ichimoku. I find that the regular works just fine for me. Now it's going to give you the default settings of 9, 26, 52. Those are for equities and Forex. So I use, because crypto, and again, this doesn't, the logic of this doesn't really pan out, because you can trade after hours on different equities and Forex, but I digress. But I find that these settings work the best for me. So 20, 60, 120, and 30. So your conversion line, also known as your Tenkan-san, is your blue line right here, or you can set it to whatever color you want. But and that's going to be your fast, basically your fast exponential moving average. What it is it's measuring the average open and close, or high and low, excuse me, of the last 20 periods and plotting out the average. So if we were to look at, again, Heikinashi, these are average candlesticks. So if you were to count the last 20 candlesticks back and take the high minus the low, you're going to get this average. That's going to be the average of the Tenkan-san, and that's going to act as your fast moving exponential moving average. Your baseline is set at 60, so that's going to be the average of your high and your low over the last 60 days. Your lagging span 2, is 120. That's going to be your, So your, it's been a while since I've explained Ichimoku. Let me collect my thoughts. Okay, so your lagging span is this bad boy right here. Okay. And all your lagging span is current price displaced minus generally 26 candlesticks. All right. So all it is it's just you're looking at the past, and your future, your cloud is actually predicting the future. So your lagging span is showing you what happened in the past. And there's a couple ways to look at it. Basically, when price crosses the lagging span, you're looking to get a lot of chop. There's other ways that people use it, but I just disable the lagging span. And your, let's see here. It's displacement 30. Yeah, so looking at 30 periods in the future. So you've got your Senku Span A and your Senku Span B, which form the upper and lower bounds of your cloud. They are the average over the last 52 days, I think, yeah, of your high and your low of your Ichimoku. So your high and your low of your baseline divided by 52, and then I think it's 126 for the leading span. So anyways, the practical applications of this, and again, I've got to make an Ichimoku video. I've got my notes for it. Let's see here. I've actually got them right here. I think. Somewhere. That's technical analysis for that day. Let's get rid of that. That's old news. You are fake news. That's my notes for TD sequential. I think I can get rid of that. Just want to make sure that I'm telling you guys right. That's my Fisher Transform notes. Maybe I deleted them. Yeah, so the cloud in front helps predict the future. So basically, this is the way I use Ichimoku. A couple different ways to use it. So buy signals. When your baseline, when your slow EMA crosses above when your fast EMA crosses above your slow EMA, so you get a TK cross positive to the upside, so your Tenkan crosses your Kijun. So we see that right here. We see our blue line, our Tenkan, cross above our red line, our Kijun. That's a buy signal. When you get your Kijun cross above a green cloud, that's generally a buy signal as well. You can do the same thing with the TK as well. With the Tenkan. When your blue line crosses above your green line, that's also a buy signal. When price is in an uptrend, so if price, also another buy signal is if price moves above the cloud as well, that's also a buy signal. You can generally, edge-to-edge trading is generally fairly reliable, so if price pierces the lower end of a cloud and closes inside of it, you can generally expect that it will hit the upper end and test the upper end as resistance. You can use the cloud boundaries as support and resistance levels. As you can see right here, it's acting as support. And then there's a couple different ways to play aggressively. So if you want to go down and day trade, like go down to your, not day trade, but other short-term trading. So let's say you're in an uptrend. There's a couple different ways to play uptrends. So once price breaks above the cloud, you're looking to buy pullbacks when price pulls back to your Kijun or your baseline, and you're setting your stop loss inside the cloud. And then you have to use other metrics to take profit. And then you take profit, you wait for a pullback to the Kijun, set your stop loss inside the cloud. You have to use some kind of metric to take profit. That's a conservative approach. The very aggressive approach, if you think you're in a very strong uptrend, let's say you're trading on a shorter time frame, is to buy all pullbacks to the Tenkan. So you're buying pullbacks to the blue conversion line, and you're setting your stop loss below the Kijun. So that's the more aggressive method. The less aggressive method is to buy pullbacks to the Kijun or your baseline and set your stop losses inside of the cloud. So there's lots of good ways to predict. It's a very, very helpful indicator because you're able to look at the past, you're able to look at the future, you get support and resistance, you get trending, you get sell signals, you get buy signals. And when you're looking at your cloud in the future, you're looking to see, is price likely to move down or move up? So generally when you see a cloud curling down, you're expecting negative price movements. If you're seeing your cloud curl up or actually switch to the upside, you're expecting positive price movement. All right, XBT forming diamond pattern on the 4-hour chart. CVNR0, man, good to see you back in here. Do I think that the ROI on Ethereum could be bigger than BTC in January with all the news plus Casper coming out in January? Man, I don't think Ethereum's gonna go up for a while, man. Like Ethereum, Bitcoin looks pretty strong. There we go. Here come the bulls. Get above the point of control. Let's go. Hashtag not biased because I have a long position. Let's see here. Yeah, no problem, Christian. I will make a better Trading Crypto 101 video on Ichimoku. That one will be fairly easy for me to make. I know I'm behind, guys, on the Trading Crypto 101 videos, but I got a lot on the plate, all right? Yeah, always feel free to send me a DM in Discord or leave comments in the section down below if there's any indicators that you want me to go over or cover. Again, the way that I do day trading, I pretty much just use session volume, horizontal support and resistance. And but for longer term time frames, I find it helpful to use things like TD sequential, Ichimoku. They just, EMAs, they give you a good baseline of where you're at on longer term time frames. Waiting for the diamond breakout. Ethereum, my target is 62.65. For 9,000! Calvin Gatsui, thanks for the sub on YouTube, man. What is the target for BTC? I would not be being fair to the members if I were to tell you that. I try to walk a thin line between not being an asshole and giving good guidance, but just open the chart and hopefully you guys can get a good idea. You guys pay attention to how I trade, where I might be looking to take profits at. Sorry, I trade on the 30-minute time frame. So just hopping over to YouTube instead. Iller, good enough to see you, man. Sorry, Christian. Hopping over to YouTube instead. Yeah, by the way, guys, hey, as opposed to what Iller just said, I appreciate it, man. But I am, if you guys do want to do something that will be no cost to you to help support the stream, just head over to Twitch, man, and give me a follow. I appreciate that. You know, if you lurk in there, it helps me out. You know what I mean? If you're going to be watching me anyways, you could be watching me on 2 platforms, man. It's like twice the Justin, twice the TA coming at you from both angles, man. I would appreciate that, guys. Something that you can do that costs you absolutely nothing. Magnus Söderberg, good to see you, man. How you doing, Legion? So we'll just keep our eyes on the XBT. Keep our eyes on the XBT. We'll take a brief break and look at Ethereum as well. Kind of like it. Need to be careful about my bandwidth. They don't got that. They don't got that Google Fiber over there in Sweden. Need that Google Fiber, man. Let's just sit here and watch XBT a little bit. Oh, come on, baby bulls. Volume's not there yet. Volume's not there yet. So, all right. Yeah, I think we all are. All right, guys. I'm starving. Straight up starving, man. I gotta eat. I gotta eat, and I gotta check in. I gotta check in with the fam. Oh, we got longs rising. Longs rising in. Starting to look like less of the best. But we'll see. ATR roll low, so it's cool. Long positions can cut the stop tight. So we'll see. Doesn't look like we're going to get wicked out yet. So we'll just wait and see, guys. As always, guys, if you guys want to carry on after the show, feel free to hop in the Discord and join us in the live day trading voice chat, man. We do it all day long, every day. So let's head over, guys. I got to go get some lunch. I'm starving. So, guys, the most important thing... Later, Christian. Good to see you. The most important thing that you can do with your life today is head over to crackingcryptocurrency.com. Click the button, join the community. It's going to bring you to our Discord, man. It's going to bring you to our Discord. Do I think BTC will go up in the very short term? Yes. It's going to bring you to our Discord. You can join our Discord. It's the best place you could possibly be, guys. While you're here, if you want to support the stream and keep us on the air, keep the lights on, guys, check out some merch, man. As you know, it's scientifically proven that if you drink coffee out of a Cracking Cryptocurrency hodl mug, your coffee will taste 60% better. Scientifically proven, guys. If you are interested in improving your trading skills and seeing what we have to offer, guys, you can check out our cryptocurrency trading services. You will get access to the VIP voice chat, the regular voice chat for day trading. You'll get access to one-on-one mentorship. You'll get access to our educational materials and our training courses, which are coming out as we move forward, and also see our trade setups and signals, guys. Currently, it's still on sale for the end of the month of November, $49.99 for 1 month, $129.99 for 3 months, and lifetime currently on sale for $799.99. Okay. And again, if you guys have any questions, as always, I answer all emails, guys, and DMs. Just reach out to us at contact@krakencryptocurrency.com or fill out the form. It'll come right to us. I saw that I had an email that I've got to respond to. I think it's from Ray, so I'll respond to that email today, guys. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Leave any comments, questions, concerns, sarcastic remarks, death threats in the comments section down below. As always, guys, you guys have been fantastic. And I appreciate every single one of you guys who keep coming back every morning, guys. You guys mean the world to me. All right, that's all I got for today, guys. Play that outro. Peace out.